Hey guys, what is up? AwesomeTheSauce here. I hope you guys are having a great day and welcome to another video where we're going to be talking about something that should have been fixed a very long time ago. Now, if you're reading the title of the video, you already know, but you know what? The problem with the title is that it follows the same template of all my other titles for effect. But the thing is, it really should be called the Guardian Spirit Problems. Because there are a lot of issues with the spell, and I thought I would break down, specifically because the developers of this game have expressed interest in fixing it, on the breakdown of both why it's broken the way it is currently, and also all the potential fixes, so that this spell stops ruining matches back to back to back. Now, I know you guys are wondering, where's this video just coming from? It's probably, it's a little out of the blue. It's a little out of the blue, I'm not gonna lie to you. The reason I'm making this video is because right now, when Test Realm turns into Live Realm, right? Like all the updates are put into the actual game. We're gonna see a meta change that we haven't seen the likes of in a really long time, potentially. There's like gonna be hats that give a lot more damage and pierce and accuracy, which we haven't seen, so there's gonna be a little bit more of an offensive strategy if people want to use that hat. There's going to be people who buff their normal stats up a ton just with the boots themselves. And not to mention, there's going to be the effect of the robes, and we have no idea what that's going to do to PvP. Now, if you guys haven't seen the robes yet, it's some exciting stuff is happening with the robes. One, because either maybe the video that we made, because of the community wanting it, looks like the robes are going to be getting accuracy. So I'm just going to put up an example of what a robe, I guess, that hits Live Realm might actually look like. Bop! Now, as you guys can see, there is an insane amount of health for all the schools. There's an insane amount of block. The resist is a lot higher. I think the life robe is the best out of all of them, mainly because life is the only school that really doesn't need that extra accuracy. It just takes one accuracy jewel, and they're good to go. So, for all intents and purposes, this might actually be the most viable robe for life out of all the other schools, right? I mean, I feel like that's something you can all agree on if you're willing to give up that damage, right? But the problem with that is, if life were to get this robe, the way Guardian Spirit works right now, it would create problems beyond a fix. It would basically just dismantle PvP at its roots, which is why this video is very important. And I really want to make sure that people understand this. Now let's focus on the three major problems with Guardian Spirit, two of which are related to the gear, but a third one I'm going to add because it is pissing me off. I view the usage of Guardian Spirit in a tiered kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? There's head-ass level 1 and head-ass level 2. Let's start with head-ass level 1. So when it comes to head-ass level 1, right, we're talking about the crit Guardian users. Now, in my opinion, these aren't that bad. Let's start off with our Guardian Spirit. As you guys can see, we're starting off with a 15% health kind of thing. If you just crit a Guardian, right, it's only going to do 30%, right? Wrong! So you start off with a 15%. Let's multiply that by 2, right? And now we're talking around 30%. Most Athames, even with the complete crit strategy, will give around 16 incoming when combined with the rings. So let's say we take that 16 incoming, and then we also add 4 square jewel slots to it, which have 6 incoming each, right? So we're looking at a 40% heal boost, times the 2 for the crit, and then you times that by the 1.4, right, for your heal boost. You're already looking at 42% health. And once you come back with 42% health, that's generally around 3,000 plus health. You can easily just do a critical pixie or a critical satyr from a shield right off the bat, and you're right back. You're right back in the game. And that's why the crit strategy it just gives you too much health. It's just, you can basically recover indefinitely. Now, let's get on to head-ass level 2. Now, this is going to take a little bit more math, so bear with me, right? Now, the reason why Guardian is really broken in max is because of Jades. The reason this is head-ass level 2 is because these people aren't generally aiming to win. They're just abusing their stats and the spell in order to just outstall the opponent. So what do these stats look like? Well, we're looking at 15 resist from the pet, 18% from the Jade boots called the Rockstar kicks, 21% from something like the Spooky Carnival robe. Note that it has 1,300 health, so as a Jade robe, it's actually going to give you a lot of health as it is because of how Guardian works. 22% from the Jade hat, and 6% from the Rat amulet. What does that add up to? a whopping 82%. We're already looking at 20% heal boost from the Carnival Robe, 12% from the Jade Hat, and 12% more from the Rat Amulet. So we're already looking at a 52% heal boost, but that is not all. When you take the Mandolin of Evermore, which can give you 24% heal boost, the Stellar Signet, which can give you 53% heal boost, and the Cosmic Crisp, which can give you 47% heal boost, you're looking at someone that can basically just pay for very few things and actually, like, you know, get 82% resist with 148% heal boost. So when you actually use a Guardian Spirit, what you're looking at is about 40% health increase, and because of the health on the robe, you're looking at, once again, something very, very close to around 3000 HP, and they come back with 82% resist, and they're ready to go again. They're ready to go again to heal, Guardian again, and keep on stalling indefinitely. These stats, the way they are, make it perfectly easy for you to stall in 1v1 as a Jade. I think a lot of people don't understand the severity of this issue, but I hope these numbers put it into perspective. So the only way to mitigate the effects of this basic abuse is to make it so that modifiers like healing, sanctuary, and critical just don't affect Guardian Spirit. But let's go on to the second problem. Now, the second huge problem with Guardian Spirit, and this one I feel like a lot of people really, like, you know, get annoyed with this, is that even if, right, let's say you got rid of even if you got rid of the effects of, you know, healing, even if you got rid of the effects of critical, all of that, right, even if you got rid of all those effects, right, technically, if someone is first, right, even if they just come back with just as 15%, if they're first, all it takes for them to come back in full swing is for them to literally just shield so they don't die the first round that they're back, and then they can crit Satyr, they can Pixie, they can do whatever they want. And again, it comes back to, like, you know, the fact that Guardian Spirit just doesn't have any drawbacks, you know, and that's the problem. And now, again, there's only two solutions to this. One, either you can cap the amount of times Guardian Spirit is used, or you can make it so that every time you use it, it does a little bit of less health, basically. So the first time you use it, it's 20%. Second time, it's 10%. All the way down to the point where you're literally coming back with, like, 1 HP if you, like, infinitely spam it, you know? That's the only solution I see, so that if you're first, Guardian Spirit still isn't a guaranteed win with certain strategies. So, as you guys can see, if you might be following a pattern here, this is a very tricky spell compared to other spells we've had in the past. Now, let's say you remove the effect of modifiers. You also make it so that it can't be used as many times, or that it diminishes in effectivity, right? In effectiveness. This still doesn't completely fix the problem, because at the end of the day, right now, there are people that basically at a very low level, they can still use Guardian Spirit. Now, I know what you're wondering, like, how would they be able to do that? So, let's look at my man's Chase Earthsmith right here, right? Now, one of the things that he has in his inventory is a Mandolin of Evermore. Now, this is a very, very problematic weapon, because one, you can only get it for crowns. You can only get it for crowns, even though it doesn't say crowns only. I don't know why it doesn't, but take my word for it. You can only get it by actually paying money in the game. And the problem with it is that no matter what level you get the Mandolin of Evermore, it comes with the Guardian Spirit spell. And the thing is, like, at certain levels, no matter what, right? If you have that extra, like, you know, at least it's an item card and you can't spam it. But the problem with the way the spell works, again, if you're first as a low level, it doesn't matter how diminished it is. You can come back, and the way the health differences work at such a low level, if you have that second chance in your first, you can just come back, tank a hit, and then just use a 2-pip spell and then win out of no actual, you know, skill on your side. So the third and final solution to this entire problem is that you have to remove the way Guardian Spirit item cards work. And here's the thing, it's not like this is like a revolutionary idea, because they've done it before. There's like this pet called a Battle Cherub or something like that, and it used to give a Guardian Spirit card, and it's now no PvP, so I don't see why that can't be like a very basic thing that's done across the board. I mean, if the logic sticks for a pet, you know, why is it that now if you pay crowns, suddenly you should have that advantage? It just makes no sense. After identifying the 3 major reasons why it's absolute ass in terms of balancing the game in PvP, I do want to add something. Alright, it is a really, really cool mechanic, and I just think that they rushed into the way that it was rolled out in PvP. You know, like, I'm not trying to say that it should be completely removed from the arsenal that you have, because the way that it should work, in my opinion, is that it should give you a second chance so that your opponent is forced to use their pips differently. That's actually how it should be used, and I think a lot of people forget that when they're just mad at the actual spell. I get why Guardian Spirit exists, I just don't agree with how it's executed. And I honestly do believe that they should add something so that they can maybe nerf the spell, and then maybe with the spell writing system, maybe they can increase the number of uses, you know, over time. You know, maybe they can, what I'm trying to say is implement the spell writing system so that you can upgrade the spell and earn it over time, but it would also limit it in such a way that, you know, more casual players aren't just spamming it instead of actually learning how to PvP. And also, none of these changes should be made to PvE either, you know, like, I don't see any problem with the Guardian Spirit being used when you're going against a really hard boss. Again, that's a really important tool, and honestly, if a Sanctuary affects it, if a Critical affects it, if a Heal affects it, if, like, a Shadow Seraph affects it, whatever affects it, you know, like, I don't think that's as big of an issue in PvE, because at the end of the day, you're just using it to make sure that you don't just get one-shotted by a boss, and all your hard work is gone. I do think, however, when it comes to 1v1 combat and 2v2 combat, all of that, it just makes no sense why someone can use a spell that advertises coming back with 15% HP after being defeated, and they just either come back with way more, or they can just keep on using it. And also, another thing that I really think this touches upon is that it really, to me, feels unsportsmanlike. And I know this isn't going to be something a lot of people necessarily agree with, but I think if you use any strategy specifically with the intent of making the game unenjoyable for the person you're going against, and this goes way, way beyond just aiming to win. I'm talking like literally just making it so that your way of winning is them fleeing because they literally do not want to deal with your BS. I feel like that's very unsportsmanlike, and I definitely think there should be additional measures. Like, I don't think Guardian Spirit is the first of its kind, by the way. They've already nerfed Juju back when it was a problem doing this, but I do think that they're finally, like, you know, there's a big, big solution that encompasses all future problems. Either there has to be a limit on the length a 1v1 ranked match can go so that stalling strategies physically cannot work if you care enough about the 16 rank to wait it out the whole time, or there has to be a way to make it so that that kind of thing is just not, like, allowed to be used. I honestly think the easier solution here is just to make it so that stalling strategies at the moment are either reportable or that matches are capped in time. Those are the two big ones, but if you want to go well beyond that, you can always limit what you can actually put in your deck, or just cap Guardian Spirit. You know, there's so many solutions here that I definitely think something should be done, but I really think this should be a priority if you really care about sportsmanlike conduct in PvP. I mean, it's infuriating. It's really infuriating knowing that you're about to get somebody, whether they heal or not, you know, and then they just Guardian Spirit, and then they come back and absolutely mop the floor with you because they come back with everything, you know? But as always, y'all, it's not just my opinion that matters, it's y'all's as well. I know that this is, like, a very divisive issue, and I don't want to just say that I speak for the entire community in saying that I want Guardian Spirit nerfed as hard as I do, but I would love to hear y'all's opinions. Have you had bad experiences, good experiences, or if you're an actual Guardian Spirit spammer, I just clearly don't understand where you're coming from. Maybe you could explain to me why you think your strategy is a good one. That's gonna be a hard job because it's not. But anyways, but yeah, you know, all opinions welcome. You know, I'd love to hear anything. But yeah, hopefully, you know, they take any of the 3 main solutions I put in this video. Drop a like if you enjoyed, my bants. Leave a sub if you're new. As always, there's tons of links in the description if you want to get more involved in the community. There's my Twitter, there's my Twitch, my Instagram, my Discord, and my Patreon if you want to support the content monthly. And as always, if somebody has not told you you're awesome today, they doing something wrong. So stay awesome, brother. And yeah.